Hello and welcome to this month's Stampin' Society. My name is Charlotte Mallet. You can find me on Instagram at iHeartStamps, and I'm excited to show you what I created for you guys this month. All of the designers are using one of their favorite holiday bundles, and one of my favorite holiday bundles is the sweet little stocking, stamp set, dies, and designer series paper. So I'm pulling those together, and we're going to show you how I created this cute card. Let's get started. You're going to need Pear Pizzazz. This is 11 by 4 1/4. You're going to score it and fold it in half for your card base. And then we're going to add our next layer, DSP. We're going to use this pattern along with a piece of 3 by 4 Pear Pizzazz. I'm going to show you something fun that you can do with a diagonal stripe. If you trim a piece from this edge and trim a piece from this edge, you can create kind of a chevron. And we're going to take that, mount this on either side like so. We'll trim the edges there, but I just kind of wanted to show you, if you took a piece of either side of that, how you can kind of create a different fun look. And I'm kind of fanatical. I'm going to want to match those up as close as I can when I mount this, which is why this is trimmed a little bit longer. So let's mount that. Let's get the first one down. Just use some tape on one side. And we'll just line up the top of this one. Actually, let's line this up first. Figure out where that's going to be. I'll come right here. That way I have a key. And I just want maybe, I don't know, between maybe an 1/8 or a little bit bigger than an 1/8 on this side. And this has an overhang, but I lined those up so that I could use the bottom here on this side to key. And then that way it makes sure that those stripes are just like that. And then we'll trim off either edge here. And come from the back side so I can use the paper as my guide with the scissor. You could also use your paper cutter. That would be fine. But I kind of find when you're using bigger scissors that works. That's that piece there. This is going to mount on our card like so. But before we do that, we're going to do some stamping on this piece. Now, when we assemble this card, we're going to cluster all of our elements over here. I want to create some stamping on this piece here so that there's a little bit of visual interest to break up this green on green. And we're going to use, I think, some of the stars just for some visual interest. We might even get real messy with our Versamark ink so that when we splatter, or when the white embossing powder is on there, it's messy because it's so clean that it'll be kind of nice to have a little bit of mess. So let's mount up the stars first and mount that up. And then we will stamp in Versamark. And the stars, obviously in the sky, but it doesn't necessarily have to be in the sky. It's just going to be a pattern. Probably like so. Maybe we'll do another one right up there like that. And again, this is left intentionally blank because that's where we're going to be assembling our focal point for this card. And now let's get some embossing powder. A little piece of paper underneath in case I make a big mess. And we'll just tack a little on each of these areas. And like I said, I did not use an embossing buddy or anything static to remove the static from the paper. I just wanted the stars, and it's okay if there are a little bit of white goobers around because it's that extra added texture that I'm looking for. Just like so. That looks very nice. And now we will heat set those on there. All right, there we go. Cute. This will mount on here using Stampin' Dimensionals. So let's do that now. All right, and again, if you are one for measurements, this piece was 3 by 4, and now with the DSP added to it, we are measuring a 3 1/4, so it is exactly 1/8 of an inch on either side. So 3 1/4 by 4, and then we're going to visually center it left to right, top to bottom. And a T-square is nice and helpful before you tack it down to make sure you are square. I have a tendency to mount things just a little bit cockeyed, but there we go. That looks nice. Okay, also using this DSP from the pack is these fun stockings. Now, what's so great about this sheet is that you can just chop out whichever stocking you want and use your die to pop those out. And so I was thinking perhaps this one, or maybe even this one, or maybe both of them. Kind of cute. We'll see what we decide to do. But again, it'll be our focal point for right there. And now we need something to fill those stockings. This stamp set is super cute. We could do the dog, cat, the little gopher. I'm kind of drawn towards the little cat, maybe even some of the candy canes to stick out of that. And I adore the little Santa hat, so maybe that's where we'll go right now. Let's stamp those using Memento ink so that we can color them using Stampin' Blends. Okay, all we need is a little piece. We're gonna slide this guy just out of the way with our socks. Ink this guy up. Cat number 1. Cat number 2. See how I had a little halo there? Cat number 3. Gives me some options to color. And now we will stamp the hat. One, 2, 3. Very good. And now how about the candy cane? Stamping them all together, and then we can chop them out individually as we run them through our big shot. 1, 2, 3. We're going to use cherry cobbler, light and dark, for our hat and for our candy cane. So let's just start with the light, which is usually what I like to do, and color in on these hats. Then with the dark cherry cobbler, we're going to take just a little and run it along the edge there and behind the hat there where there would be something fun that we're going to do on this candy cane is we're going to take just a little bit of light polished pink and we're going to run just a line like so to just give that candy cane a little bit more pop. Now let's color the kittens. We're going to do 2 colors of crumb cake, the light and the dark. We'll start with the light and pretty much just color this whole kitty. Leave the eyes, obviously, so that they can be white and pop, just like so. And then we're going to come back in with the dark. We'll use the fine tip edge, and we're going to add some dark to the outside of the ears. Maybe we'll add a little bit of kitty dark there, just to pretend that he's got a little bit more fur, or different colored fur. That's kind of cute. And then we'll come back in and blend that with the other version. Cute. Okay, let's get ready to run those through our Big Shot using the dies. Okay, chop, chop, chop. Now we have options. What would be cute? Kitty there, candy canes coming out of the other one. I kind of like that idea. Let's do that. Let's take this one. That's pretty cute. I'm just gonna put a little tape on both of the paws so that it can overhang this sock in such a way. That's pretty cute. I am going to trim out around the hands so that the white halo, there's less of a halo. Just enough. There, that's good. Now we'll tack that on. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. A little more seamless there. And then let's do the same thing with the Santa hat. Which one? That one looks pretty good. We're gonna just hand cut direct to the stamped image line so that when it sits on this kitty's head, it doesn't have that paper halo. In front of the ears, behind the ears, in front of the ears. That's cute. Okay, we'll add a little adhesive right there and tack that on kitty's head there. That's adorable. So maybe he'll go there. That looks pretty good. We'll save all of these pieces for something else. We'll use the candy canes though. We're going to just run tape on the back side of that sock, and then we're going to look at it from whichever direction. Here to add one, and a second kind of up like that. That's cute. I'm not going to put any over on this side because the cat will interact with that a little. And then I think these are going to land like so. I might want a little circle behind to kind of help center that focal point. So we'll die cut a white circle from the layering circles framelets. We're going to use the little scallop. Let's see how that looks behind there. Oh yeah, that's cute. Just lets those, helps put them all together and makes them pop. And before we assemble all of that, let's stamp our greeting to see how that's going to fit. What color? Evening Evergreen, since that's the dark green there. Let's use that. All right, Evening Evergreen. Santa Paws is coming to town. Use the edge of that paper. Center your stamp. And then we'll trim the top. That way it's easier to stamp and then trim than it is to trim and then stamp. It's harder to fit. All right, we're gonna let that dry a little bit, but oh, that's gonna be so cute coming in there. Let's trim this down. All right, once trimmed, this is roughly 3/4 of an inch by 3 inches. I think we'll put that there. We might even, let's flag that end. I'll use this punch here. Just pop that in, center it top to bottom, and flag that side. Cute. And maybe we need to add a little bit of like holiday trim. So maybe some linen thread, that'll pop off of that. White, we're just gonna do kind of a cluster. So we'll wrap it around all 4 fingers and then ultimately maybe tack it under that green stalk so that it's just a little mess like the cat got into some yarn. So let's start assembling those pieces here now that we see how we want them all. Put this one down. Overhanging this edge just a little bit here. Looks good. And then let's cluster this together. We'll actually run it behind this sock. So let's just tack it and see how that ends up looking. Like so, if that makes sense. So we want this one, yeah, kind of like so. That's cute. So we'll put this one down. And then we'll add that one. It's funny, those stars we don't even see. That's okay though. And like so. Yep, we'll put some dimensionals on the back end of this tail. And a little bit of just regular adhesive there. Santa Paws is coming to town. How cute is that? Adorable. All right. Now the other card, it's a lot more stamping. Instructions on how to create this card are on my blog as well. But using the kitty again, same colors of ink when we're stamping, and pulled in the craft and the timber 3D embossing folder, and actually pulled in some old embellishments because they match the stars on that DSP to create two very different kitty cards. So cute. Thanks for taking some time out of your day to watch us create this card, and I appreciate you subscribing to the Stampin' Society monthly tutorials. Super fun, all sorts of great ideas every month from 6 very talented crafters. See you next month.